Good evening. Welcome to our Eventide and Spring Concert. If you would come in and find your seats, we are getting ready to begin. We'll start Eventide in just a few minutes. So if you guys would come in and find your seats, make room for everyone so everyone can have a seat. We will begin in just a few minutes. Thank you. All right. If I could have your attention, hopefully there's enough seating for everybody out there. There are some open seating up here, so we welcome you to come up front. My name is Mr. Torsney, and this is our spring concert. We always start our spring concert with the closing of the Sabbath and my children coming in. So there you go. We will open up with a word of prayer, and then we will close the Sabbath with our worship program. which is exciting. This year we had some original music go out, which you'll get to hear. And you'll get to hear some of our leaders do a little spoken word as we go through our worship set. I do want to have a couple quick housekeeping announcements. The first thing is, you know, these kids have worked hard all year long. From day one till now, it has been a lot of hard work. And we ask that you treat this like any other show that you would go to. So when they're up here, either leading worship or performing, we ask that you respect that and you stay quiet, okay? There's time, there's breaks, there's time to go to the bathroom, there'll be time to get food. I certainly like it when you cheer them on. So if they're doing well and you want to cheer them on, then by all means, go for it. But please respect the work that they have done. This is their final. This is a culmination of hours and hours and hours of work. So we ask that you respect that. And that's as much for the adults as it is for the kids, because if we're being honest, we're probably the worst at it. They know that when I play with them, I'm a terrible student. When I direct them, I expect more than how I act sometimes. So we ask that all of you, we do that. The bathrooms, there's a women's bathroom. I think, is that the women's, or is that out there? Both the bathrooms we're using are out that way. There will be a door that's open right there. And we ask you to support the music program by buying the food for your friends or for yourselves or for your kids. That goes to help offset the cost of our tour this year. We did back-to-back tours, and if you know anything about cost right now, that's expensive. And so we have been fundraising to help offset that, and that food sales will go into helping that cost. So thank you. I'll say this probably a few times this evening, but I want to thank you for the support of the arts, whether it is art or one of the music programs here. Without you, none of this happens, and I believe fully in the education of music and what it does for our students long-term in their lives. And so I want to thank all of you guys for supporting us as parents and as families, extended family. Thank you, students, for supporting what we've done here all year long with the worship program and with the band and the orchestra and camerata and chorale. We're very blessed at GCA to have a strong fine arts program and strong leadership that believes in that. And so thank you guys for that. Let's have a word of prayer, and then we'll get started. Father, thank you so much for bringing us here. Thank you for the ability to gather together in your name and to worship you. Thank you for the talents that you have given all of these students and for their willingness to share that talent with their fellow man. We love you. I pray for everyone that's in this room that you are with them as they go forward. Keep their families safe. Guide them. And we can't wait to see you. Amen.
Good evening and welcome to Eventide. We're really happy that you guys could join us. In the song Awake My Soul, there are some very powerful lyrics. One being, I come alive when you breathe on me. Or awake my soul, God, resurrect these bones from death to life. For you alone, awake my soul. God brings us to life. He awakens us from our metaphorical slumber, whether that means losing sight of him and getting busy that we forget to pray, feeling like you're drowning in life, or having a rough time at home. Whatever it is, this reminds us that God can always bring us back and help us to open our eyes. God has the ability to bring us back by his word, his promises, and his promise of eternal life. These things wake us up and help us to realize what we've been missing out on all along, and the most important thing in our life. God provides us with so much, and when we lose sight of ourselves, God is always overjoyed to bring us back. Please join us as we sing. Breathe on me, breath of God, breathe on me. Breathe on me, breath of God, breathe on me. I come alive, I'm alive when you breathe on me. Awake, awake, awake my soul. God resurrect these bones from death to life for you alone. Awake my soul. Awake, awake, awake my soul. God resurrect these bones from death to life for you alone. Awake my soul.
The story of the life of Jesus is one of my favorites in the Bible. While studying this next song, I realized there's a piece of the story of salvation in every verse. First, God saw the darkness and hopelessness in the world and came running from his throne of endless glory to redeem us. He sent his son into the world as a baby in the most unexpected way. Jesus went from the ultimate glory to being born in a stable. The line, "There was mercy in his eyes," sticks out and gives us the reasoning behind God's actions. The chorus goes on to say, "Praise forever to the King of Kings." Our chance to recognize and understand God's power comes through these lyrics. God didn't have to do anything for us. He chose to. He loves us so much that he sent his son to die for us. Our job is to praise God for who he is. Verse 2 briefly mentions the life and death of Jesus. He wanted to reconcile the lost and redeem his creation. He suffered and died for our sake, and he did it willingly. Again comes our chance to acknowledge his majesty. The last two verses are the final part of the story, and it's Jesus conquering death. He rose from his grave just as he said he would. Because Jesus died and was resurrected, although we may die, we will also be resurrected. Jesus brought the good news to us that we are free in him. It's our job to tell the world of his sacrifice. A verse comes to mind, and it's John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life." Praise the Father, praise the Son, and praise the Holy Spirit. In the darkness, we were waiting without hope, without light, till from heaven you came running. There was mercy in your eyes to fulfill the law and prophets. To a virgin came the word, from a throne of endless glory to a cradle in the dirt. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, three in one. God of glory, majesty, praise forever to the King of Kings. To reveal the kingdom coming and to reconcile the lost, to redeem the whole creation. You did not despise the cross, or even in your suffering you saw to the other side, knowing this was our salvation. Jesus, for our sake you died. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, three in one. God
So the first time I heard and sang this song was the beginning of my junior year. The leaders had split into 2 bands, and we each sang a song for the first Vespers of the year. I didn't dislike it, but it didn't stick out to me that much either. But over time, I sang it often and began to really enjoy it. The message never got old and meant something different to me each time because God was always able to morph it into what I needed to hear. And I think that's a really important thing. And I think that this shows a lot about the song itself and why it's important to know what we're saying, thinking, and doing when we worship. Part of a definition that I found for worship is this. Worship is an act of religious devotion, usually directed towards a deity. For many, worship is not about an emotion. It is more about a recognition of God. I want to focus on the part where it said, for many, worship is not about an emotion. I like that wording a lot because most of the time, it's hard not to gauge our faith off of what we're feeling. At first, the song wasn't making me feel anything, but once I got to know it and the words and what they meant, which is a multitude of things now, is when it started to mean something. Part of it meaning something, though, is a choice. And the same thing goes for all forms of worship, like reading the Bible, listening to a sermon at church, or even just having a conversation about God with your friends. The song says this, all my life you have been faithful, all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I'm going to sing of the goodness of God. I want to claim that verse the rest of my life. It's a reminder that no matter how I'm feeling, God is good all the time and true and always perfect. You don't always have to feel that God is with you. In fact, sometimes you can feel alone in the room even when he's standing right there. God is running after us when we feel abandoned. You probably know this verse well. God says in Matthew 28, and be sure of this, I am with you always, even to the very end of the age. It's not always going to be easy, but his mercy will never fail us.
Your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Sing it with me.
And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. Have led me through the fire, and in darkest night you were close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. And all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God.
Throughout my 4 years, there's been one song that I didn't particularly have a connection with. I couldn't seem to find like what it was, like why I couldn't feel it in myself. Why am I singing this song? What is the purpose of this song? And so I reached out to my vocal coach that I've known for several years now. Her name's Donna Thomas. She's an amazing woman. And I said, Miss Donna, why don't I feel the emotion in this song? Why can't I just sing it and just show others that I feel it? Why can't I show that to others and try to make this impactful for someone else? And she said, basically the gist, it's not about you. It's about that person in the audience that needs to hear it. It's about that one person that you can reach and you can share your gift with. Though God has gifted me with the amazing talent to sing, it's not important necessarily until I can impact someone else. And so the idea of the heart of worship connects with this verse, Philippians 2:4. Not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. My gift, while I'm very thankful for it and I'm very happy to have it to worship God, it's not impactful and it's not showing the heart of worship until I use it to impact someone else in the audience that needs to hear the message of the song that I'm singing. When the music fades, all is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to bring something that's of worth that will bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself, it's not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's
Amen. All right. I hope you guys have had a moment to worship tonight with us. This is my favorite part of, I think, my whole job is working with the praise teams and the orchestra, and the power behind that music in bringing the word is just really incredible. We're going to take just a few moments to thank a few people that are in this program and that make this program work. And every year, something that we talk about with our leadership group and in class is the concept of servant leadership. It's easy when you're in a program like Magnify to get wrapped up in the performance of it and the excitement of playing contemporary music. And when we started this class, that became a focal point for me, is to offset that with the idea that that is a result of God blessing you for leading from a heart of servanthood. And so a lot of what we do in class is really boring to these guys because we do a lot of Bible study. In our leadership class, we talk a lot about lifting other people up, about not taking songs. Like, people think when they become leaders, they get to sing everything, and that's actually not the case. They teach the rest of their bands what they're doing, and they take a back role. And that's the idea, is that the goal for us is to have these guys go out into the churches and into the world and continue to do God's work by serving the community around them. Our leaders hear us say that all the time. The band hears us say this all the time. And a number of years ago, Kaylee and I decided that we wanted to try to honor a student by thanking them with recognition that they understood that and they lived that life, and that we saw that. And not just that we saw that, but their classmates saw that and their band saw that. And so a few years ago, we started doing something called the Heart of Worship Award, and it encompasses just that. Someone who lives a life of worship, or who lives a life of service to their band, to their community, to the people around them. And this year we've had Lexi with us too, so there's been the three of us kind of going through, and we interview all of our students, and we let them vote on who they think lives out that life. And so this year we had 2 people tie from the students, and what we tend to do is if the students vote it and we feel confident about that, then we go with it, whether it's 1 or 2. We've never had 3, but we've had 2 before. And these 2 students tied, and we felt, and I do want to say this. All of you guys are awesome. All of our leaders, we need to give them a big round. All of our leaders, stand up, praise leaders for a second. Praise leaders, wave your hands if you're already. This is a tough group to be in because they do a lot of extra work. The planning that goes into running their rehearsals, they run their own rehearsals. Kaylee and I and Lexi do not run their rehearsals for them. We teach them how to teach and how to lead, and then they run their rehearsals. So when you come to a worship service here and you hear one of their bands, that's the work that they have done with the students in there and helping them along. They do song studies with their bands. They do the work outside. They have the extra rehearsals that run late into the nights and early into the mornings. And we've had an awesome group of leaders this year. They're really, really great. And they all deserve this award, okay? And all of our seniors, if you're a senior in the praise class program, will you just stand up for me, please, seniors? Don't be shy. Seniors, stand up. They're hiding out there, yeah. We've had a pretty great run of kids that understand what we're trying to accomplish here and that go out. And if you look in the universities and in some of the churches, you'll see them. You'll see them at Southern leading. They really take this seriously. So I do want to say, before we hand out 2 of them, that they all very easily could get this award. But there's 2 that stood out from the peer group and that Kaylee and I and Lexi kind of felt absolutely deserved it. And so the first one, I think in honor of her family, I think her first time in my office as an official student, she cried. Is that true? Yes, it kind of runs in the family. But the thing about Raiden that stood out to us is that so many of her peers talked about how she served them in their band, with how she helped them, with the way that she just treated them outside of class. If I had one say man, she helps me with my harmonies, or she helps me this way, or she helps me that way. It was like an overwhelming thing that, Braden Scott is the first one, as you can tell. But she, no, she didn't cry because of bad things. She didn't cry because of bad things. I'm just scary to freshmen when they come in, apparently. Yeah. But that was the overwhelming thing that we heard, and we've watched it. I've watched you give songs to everyone else in your band. I've watched you care for your band. I've watched you love your band. I've watched you live that life, and it's an honor for us to give you this award for the heart of worship, and obviously Braden Scott.
Okay, our second student, and this might give it away just by saying this, but she came to GCA as a junior. And right away and during her audition, you could just tell, I mean, she had an amazing voice, and yet that's not what we focus on and what we look for. We don't look for the most talented people. We look for somebody who has a humble heart and who understands the idea of service. And honestly, like the time that we have in our auditions is such a short time with people, and yet in addition to auditioning like vocally or with their instrument, we also ask them some questions. And you could just tell by discussing and talking about worship that she already understood things. And it has been a privilege to watch her her junior year, she was in a group, and she just, as we got to the senior year, it was like she has leadership qualities, and oftentimes, we have people who've started and have been in the program for years and then step into the leadership role their junior or senior year. And yet we already saw like just the humility in her and asked her to join the leadership team this year. And she has done a wonderful job. And the other thing that I will say about Alana Sams is that she is always willing to jump in. There's nothing that I feel like we have either asked her to do that she's never like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't have time for that. There is always just a humble spirit and a joyful spirit of like, okay, what are we doing next? And whether it is singing in the studio or extra rehearsals or doing a special music at church or leading in the group, it's just without fail, there is joy that exudes from Alana, and there's humility, and it's been a pleasure to watch you these last 2 years.
And then I did mention someone else that we just want to thank. Is Lexi here? Where's Lexi? Lexi? Are you out there? Is she's in this next? Come on up, Lexi. So this year we had someone that we convinced to take off a year of school and come help us, because as the program grows, we still have other jobs, and you'll see some of that with band and orchestra. And so we convinced Lexi to come back and get paid a whopping minimum wage to come back and work long hours and be a part of the worship program. And I cannot express how wonderful it has been. All the covers that we've done this year, the 10 songs that we have released, Lexi has been at the heart of the engineering and producing. She learned the program. She's been wonderful with the kids. I think that my workers probably will cry more when she leaves than if I were to leave. They love her. And we joke about youth ministry as an option, but she's been so awesome with these guys. And it's been a pleasure to have you, and we're very grateful that you said yes. And we have a little thank you for you. She is leaving because it is just a one-year position. And I'm not going to ask her what she's going to do, because that's an ongoing discussion. But whatever she does, it's going to be wonderful, and she will be successful, and we will miss you.
So when thinking back to the day Mr. Torsney had us all split up and see if we could mess around with some melody or lyrical ideas for our upcoming song, Alana and I had just been messing around on the piano a little bit. And around this time, I had been going through some really hard events in my life. One of the hardest of them was losing my grandfather. And it was around mid-October when I had found out he had been rapidly declining, and this took a large toll on my mental health. So that day, a lot had been weighing on my mind, and that's when I came up with this chorus line, I'll wait, I'll wait, I'll wait for your answer, O Lord. I had been praying and praying that my grandpa would at least make it to my graduation, and although my prayers had not been answered, I learned a huge lesson about God. We may wait and wait for an answer of hope and never get one that we want. Sorry. But for whatever comes our way, God will open and close doors as we walk throughout life. All we need to do is trust the process in whatever comes our way. And in a way, something good did come out of all of this. Our amazing team was able to come together and write a beautiful song about trusting God's timing. After we finished this song, I was able to find a sense of peace, and I hope that when you hear this song, you are able to find the same. Starting to lose all my hope. I travel through life unseen. A part of me wants to go home. I'm wandering aimlessly, longing for somewhere to go. The chaos surrounding me, it's hard not to feel all alone. My faith is on empty, it's
much that it's Sabbath, that we had some time to rest and spend time with you. Thank you so much for the opportunity for us to worship together tonight and just praise you for all that you do for us. We ask you to bless the performances tonight and just be with all of us, calm our nerves. And thank you for giving us these gifts that we can give back to you. And we give all the glory to you, Lord. And just be with all those who can't be here tonight and keep them safe. We love you so much. Please come soon. In Jesus' name, amen. So really quick, at this time, we're going to have a short break. In a few minutes, we're going to have the costume contest, and concessions are open in the back. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to be part of the costume contest, please come up to this side of the stage, just in front of the steps right now. We're about to have the people come up. Now, while you're coming up, I have several groups that I already wrote down of people I know that wanted to be part of the costume contest. And usually, while people are coming up, I tell a couple jokes, a couple dad jokes. I decided not to do dad jokes this time, but because the theme is Disney, I thought I'd give you a couple trivia facts about Disney. This is kind of interesting. Once upon a time, when Disney was just starting, they were trying to get the best artists together, the best people that could draw cartoon characters, and people were applying from all over the place. And there was a young man who applied for Disney, and he said, I have these characters I've been putting together, and I want to draw them for you. So he drew his characters. They were kind of short and fat, and Disney said, we're not looking for originality right now. We're looking for somebody who can just draw our characters over and over and over. And you're good, but I think we're going to say no. Thank you for trying. So this young man left, and he was a little bit frustrated that he didn't get hired for Disney, but he kept drawing his characters. And he called one of his characters Charlie Brown, and another character he called Snoopy. And Charles Schulz was not hired by Disney, ended up being the most successful comic of all time. So that's a good trivia to remember. If you ever don't get accepted for a position, that might not be the right position for you because better things are ready for you. Okay, hopefully we have all the people that are ready as part of the costume contest. Let me tell you how this is going to work. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody sitting out here, we're going to try doing judging a little bit different this year. We're not going to do it by volume. We're going to do it by cell phone waving. As somebody comes up here, if you think that they're decorated really good, their costume is really good, take out your cell phone and turn it on and hold it up. If you hold it up, that means you think they did a pretty good job. If you think they did a really good job, hold it up and wave it back and forth. That means that you and the people around you really like the costume. If you think that the people that are up here that are dressed up and have practiced have done a really fantastic job, turn on your cell phone and wave it really hard. That way we'll know that in your section of the gym, you really appreciate it, and they will get more points according to how many phones and how active the phones are. Okay, we're going to start now. So let's start with Joey and Irvin. Joey and Irvin are first. They're coming up on the stage. Come up the stairs, and then we'll give you the microphone so you can tell everybody who you are. All right, Joey and Irvin, please introduce yourself and tell what Disney characters you are.
We are Joey and Irvin, and we're actually not from a Disney movie. We accidentally signed up, and we are not supposed to be here. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Okay, next we have Etta and Layla. Etta and Layla, come on up. Okay, come up, and I'm going to hand you the microphone. You can introduce yourself, and then everybody. All right, here you go.
I am Etta. Bullseye. And I am Jessie.
And Jessie and her horse from Toy Story. Thank you. Okay, you guys can take off. Next, we have a group of people from the movie Cars. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi. Well, let's let everyone get up here first. Sorry. Not a lot of space. So we're the Cars from Cars. That's pretty much it.
All right, Cars. Good job. Okay, we have another group coming up, Ira Mills and Riley. Ira Mills and Riley, are you here?
I'm late. I'm very terribly late.
And I'm Alice. Yeah.
All right. All right, thank you very much. We now have a group called Winnie the Pooh and Friends. Denisa, Lyra, Hannah, Christina.
Okay. I'm Denisa. I'm Winnie the Pooh.
Hi, I'm Lyra, and I'm Eeyore.
I'm Christina, and I'm Piglet.
I'm Hannah, and I'm Tigger.
Good job. Now, Molly Teague. Molly Teague is here. She is dressed up special. And you can introduce yourself.
Bark, bark.
Bark, bark. Pluto does not talk. All right, next, Abe Hernandez. Abraham, are you here? Come on up. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Walmart Winnie. And I'm Walmart Miguel from Coco.
All right. Got a lot of people appreciating that. All right, now from the movie Lion King, we have Ethan Maddox and Nate Odom.
I'm Nate Odom.
I'm Ethan Maddox. You can probably guess what we're doing. It's the sack of life.
Good job. All right, Caitlin Stark. We have somebody from a new movie.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Je m'appelle Belle. I would love to stay and chat with you, but I simply must go see if the librarian has any more books in his shop.
Good job, Belle. Okay, now we have Buzz Lightyear.
I'm Silas, and playing as Buzz. To infinity and beyond.
All right, we have Allison Hickam and your group. Come on up. We've got soundtrack for this one.
I am the Mandalorian, and this is Grogu, sometimes known as Baby Yoda.
And I am Empress Palpatine.
All right, Empress Palpatine. All right, I have one more on my list. It looks like there's a couple more people here. Let's start with Matthew Taylor. Come on up.
You'll remember today is the day you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow. Savvy?
Captain Jack Sparrow. Okay, if there's any other entrants, please come up the stairs so I can introduce you. Come on up.
Hi, I'm Russell from the movie Up. I can mow your lawn and pick up trash. I'm a wilderness explorer. Yeah.
And he's a merit badge. Good job. Are there any more entries? Okay, there are several groups that did get enough votes. They're going to be asked to come up again for the finals. Next time we have the judging, please make sure you come up to this corner, and I will tell you if you're one of the groups that's going to be coming up. And at this point, please go back and keep on spending money to purchase more food, and we're going to start the rest of the concert in just a minute.
Sinfonietta to the stage, please. Sinfonietta to the stage. Concessions will go for a couple more minutes, and then we'll shut down as we start the next portion of the program. Sinfonietta to the stage. Can I have Ethan Lopez, Ethan and Luke to the stage? Ethan and Luke. Okay. Can we close the concessions? And we're going to start the next portion. So if you guys would find your seats, shh. All of you that are standing in line, we will have more concessions 2 more times, so you'll have your opportunities to get them. So if you guys could find your seats, we're going to begin Sinfonietta's portion of the program, and we'll do that as soon as you guys are ready for us. right. Yeah, you can sing along. That was there. That was there. And I gotta just brag about this group. Man, they do a lot of music all year long. They played probably 7 or 8 worship sets throughout the year. They're playing at the GCC tomorrow. They're kind of the come with me and let's perform group. And so they get music and they learn it very quickly. And they're really good. I mean, I know I'm biased, but they're really good. So I'm really proud of the work they've done this year. That first song, you recognize some of those if you've ever been sitting in that old wooden boat with the weird... You could update it once in a while. But that song just sticks in your head, right? Anyway, so this next, I think that I feel like Richard, when I was working with Richard at CA, this movie may have come out, and this was one of his favorites, and I think it was one of mine. Maybe I'm making this up, Rich? But I remember seeing this and loving the music to this, and it's just such cool music. I do want to say thank you to a few people that are coming here to play in a little bit. Brian is not here tonight, but Brian has been helping out with band lessons. He's been helping out with orchestra lessons this year, and he's not here tonight. He wasn't feeling well, but Brian, if you're watching, thank you very much. I have something for you, but that was going to happen right in here. But if you know the songs, you know how I like to roll. If you know the songs, you can yell them out. You can scream when you recognize them. If you want to sing along, you're welcome to sing along. It just makes you want to start a dance down the hall, right? Like we'll just start that. How do I? No, I'm kidding. I want to take a couple minutes, and we do awards. Well, first of all, before we do awards, we need to back up a little bit. The last song that we finished with, the original that was written with Magnifier, you saw me sit down, and you saw Aiden Garapi come up. And the reason that he came up and directed that is because he wrote the strings part for it. So, yeah, give it, yeah. Aiden has been taking composition lessons with Jim Teal, who is somewhere here. He plays trombone for me, and he has been teaching him, and Aiden has written, there's Jim, yeah. And Aiden has orchestrated, he's actually orchestrated, we're gonna do I Will Wait tomorrow at the GCC, and a hymn that he has orchestrated as well. And he has basically become our resident composer. So as a junior, it's pretty remarkable. If you look at the parts, it's really, really good. I actually like it better than some of the original orchestra stuff we get when we order it. So I'm really proud of him. He had kind of an average teacher growing up, but now he's with a good one, and it's working out really well. But yeah, so you'll see him direct throughout. He's actually going to direct a piece later that he worked from the beginning to the end, and it's fun to watch these kids grow and get strength in certain areas and take off. This is the portion where we hand out awards, and like we did the award earlier, we do have some national awards to hang out. But before we do that, when we have tour years, I like to hand out personal awards to students, because if you ever toured with high school students, the only way to get through the stress is to give them awards afterwards, to thank them for the levels of stress that they caused you on your home leave. And so, with that, our first award is going to go to, I say this all the time, is if I'm going to go to a show, I'm going to leave you if you're not on the bus. And you say that to kids, and they're like, he's not going to leave me, but I will. And I tell the story. In fact, Craig was here earlier. My first couple years here, I had a tour. My timpani player didn't show up. We left. He wound up at the church because he was a senior and he was scared. And he drove himself down to the church and played. And I tell that story to them, and they laugh at me because they're like, he'll never leave. That's crazy. Well, while we were down in Orlando, on our way to our morning sound check, little did you know, we had one person not on the bus. Yeah. And I said to Woody, we had to be there by a certain time. We had the GPS up, and I'm like, if he's not here at this time, we're leaving, and he can ride the other bus. And that number hit, and we started to pull out, and lo and behold, we see Abraham coming around the corner. And he sees the bus moving, and I can only imagine in his head he thought, he's told the truth, and started sprinting to the bus. And so he made it. We didn't go very fast, but he ran pretty hard. And so his award that he gets is the Bus Run Award. Yeah. Woo!
I appreciate it.
I have a couple more years, too. Then the next award, these next two awards are year-long awards. They actually go to two people. One of them, in the beginning of the year, kids are really honest with you, too. In the beginning of the year, she said, I want to be in Sinfonietta, but I really don't do the mornings. And and I'm always, I don't necessarily always believe them. And I'm like, oh, you'll be fine. I mean, it's 7:15, but it'll be okay. Just come out, see how it goes, and we'll just see what happens in the year. And it started off really great. And then I learned pretty quickly that she actually meant that she didn't do mornings. And so our year has been, it's been really great. And she made it all the way through the end of the year, but we've had these moments where she would miss some and she'd be like, I'm just gonna quit. And I'm like, dude, don't quit. You're getting through the year. You're doing so well. Don't quit. Even just the 2 weeks ago, she's like, like you have 2 weeks left, 7:15, we can make it. And so this award goes to Lynn Shana. She knew it was coming. And this award, this is surviving the entire year while breaking at least 50% in attendance. So she made it at least half of the time. I'm really glad she made it. She's fun, and it was a fun time. The final award, the fun award, and then we'll give out the national awards, but this last award goes to, it's hard. 7:15 is hard. Unless you get up at 5:30 to work out. 7:15 is hard. And so this next person's been here every morning at 7:15, but has not liked it, but is faithfully here. And every time I look, I get the look of like, I can't do this again. You're going to have to figure something out with class. I'm here, but this is painful. And so this award goes to Autumn Hickam. And we called this the Sleepyhead Award because she would roll out of bed and come in and sit down and make it through looking at me the whole time going, this is not cool. This is not cool. But she's done a wonderful job. And so she gets the Sleepyhead Award, resilience through the year, getting up early at 7:15. And they're excited because there are no more 7:15s, and they cheered earlier about that. So, yeah, it's good. Now, we're going to get to the serious awards here. The orchestra has, I'm trying not to give it away. The orchestra has a national award that is the National Orchestra Award. Makes sense. And this is given out in bigger high schools. The directors all choose, but there's only one director. And so to avoid any kind of drama, I let the students choose. And then, similar to the Heart of Worship, I let the students choose. And then if they choose someone that deserves it, then we go with that, because I like to have input from people. I'm a collaborator. I like to know what other people think. And this year, they voted 2 people again. And it's very rare that you have 2 people that are so outstanding in their craft. And so I like the fact that the students recognize that. It wasn't me having to share that with them. They have watched these 2 people through their senior year, and they have acknowledged the exceptional talent that they have and the willingness that they have put forth in the effort. The first person you have seen publicly in some of our videos this year. She's been basically our recording cellist. She's been in our videos for Light of the World and I Will Wait. And she just so happened to win the concerto competition at Southern this year, so you got to see her there. The National Orchestra Award goes to Christina Showalter. The second person, yeah. If you haven't seen that, by the way, you should watch it. If you have not seen her perform for that, it's pretty intense. The second person you have seen throughout their career, you've seen them play guitar, you've seen them play piano, you've seen them sing, you've seen them play violin. What else? What else have you seen? What else have you seen him do? RA? That doesn't count for this. I'm not even gonna. I don't even know what that is, but I'm not gonna do it. The second person is an extremely, extremely talented person. Every once in a while, I run into someone who has like that understanding of music that goes beyond their years. And when it comes to, like, he and I can communicate while I'm conducting. I'll hear something and he'll hear it and he'll look at me and we both know what's happening at the same time within the group even. And it's rare that that happens. And he's an exceptional person anyway, but he's an extremely talented musician. He's been my concert master now for a few years, and Andrew Hansen has won the second one. And that's it for awards and jokes for this session. We're going to finish with one more song for you, and then we will go back into our break, and we'll invite the band up here. I know it seems like we're only playing 4 songs, but you know each one of these songs has 3 songs in it, and they're suites, and so that turns into 12, and it'll be the same in band. Each song that we do has about 3 or 4, epic songs in it, so the number is small, the concert's long because the timing of them is long, but they've done a wonderful job, and we will finish with our final song.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call a couple costume groups up here. There were 5 groups that made it to the next level. Please come up, Matthew Taylor with Captain Jack Sparrow. Hickam family, please come up here with Baby Yoda. Denisa, Lyra, Hannah, Christina Showalter with Winnie the Pooh. Please bring your group up. Alice in Wonderland group, please come up. And the last group was Little Russell, Betsy Russell with Up. If I called your group name, please come up here. Now, while they're coming up here, I'm going to tell you one more story, a trivia. Another trivia about Disney. If you've gone to Disney before, it is definitely a money-making corporation. If you go around to any of the parks and you see a small booth that sells popcorn, that popcorn is expensive. If you bought the popcorn at Walmart and put it in your microwave, it might cost you 75 cents to get a thing of popcorn. But at Disney, it'll cost you about $10. Now, they do locate those booths in special areas where they think there's going to be a lot of traffic. And each of those popcorn stands is expected to make $1 million profit every year. That's amazing. So if you want to make a lot of money, sell popcorn at Disneyland or at Disney World. Okay, we're still getting the people up here. Another trivia. For land size, Disneyland is a very big park in California, but all of Disneyland will fit in the parking lot of Disney World in Florida. That shows the size difference. Also, one more piece of trivia before we start the contest. Last trivia, Mount Everest at Disney, at Animal Kingdom. Mount Everest is 6 inches shorter than the highest level you can have in the state of Florida without having to have the FAA tell you have to have a light on top. They purposely made it just short enough so they wouldn't have to be in the way of airplanes. Okay, we're going to go on to the costume contest part. Now, let me remind you how it works. We have 5 different groups. Now, as these groups come up, I'm going to hand them the microphone. When they're done, the way that you vote is by holding up your cell phone. If you think that they dressed very well, hold your cell phone up like this. If you think they did really, really well, and you just wanted to say that that's my favorite one, not my favorite 5, because there's only 5. Don't vote the same way for all 5. But if you think that's my very favorite one, hold up your phone and wave it back and forth. We have Dean Hunt is on that side, and he's going to be counting all the phones that are up and all the phones that are waving on that side. I'm going to be counting all the phones that are up and waving on this side. So remember, 1 point if you're holding it up. 2 points if you're waving it back and forth. Okay, the first group, the first person that's going to be coming up is Captain Jack Sparrow.
Crazy people don't know they're crazy. I know I'm crazy, therefore I am not crazy. Savvy?
All right, for Captain Jack Sparrow. Do you have it written down, Dean? Make sure you have it written down so we can compare the numbers. Okay, next we have Baby Yoda.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I wish I had a baby frog to give him right now. All right. Let's see the cell phones for Baby Yoda. Okay, next we have Winnie the Pooh. Come on up, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
All right, Winnie the Pooh. Looks good. You can go. Next, we have Alice in Wonderland.
Which way to Wonderland?
Just there, down the rabbit hole.
Curious and curiouser.
Good job, Alice. Okay, we have one more contestant from the movie Up, Little Russell.
Good afternoon. My name is Russell. I'm a wilderness explorer in 1254 in Sweat Lodge 12. Are you in any need of assistance today, sir?
Thank you very much. All right, Dean Hunt, as soon as you're done counting, come up here, and we are going to present the prizes. First off, we'd like to thank everybody that did dress up, whether you decided to come up and show your costume to everybody, or if you just wanted to wear it and walk around. We appreciate the time that you spent, and we'd like to appreciate all of the money you're spending right now in the back. There's still food back there. We don't want to take any food home. We want you to purchase all that food. So if you have a minute, please go back there and spend your food. The judges are going to be conferring for the next couple seconds. Have winners. We do have winners chosen, so please come up if you hear your name called. I put the prize money somewhere. All right, for the costume contest this year, 2022 Spring Concert, winning $50 for third place, we have Captain Jack Sparrow, Matthew Taylor. Come on up and get your prize. Captain Jack? Captain Jack. All right, that will go to the judges. They'll split that money. Thank you very much. Oh, here he is. Congratulations. In second place with $75, please give a round of applause to Alice in Wonderland, Ira and Riley. Alice in Wonderland, congratulations. And while they're coming up, we'll go ahead and announce. Oh, here you go. Congratulations. And in first place, the costume was fantastic. Russell knew what to say. From the movie Up, Betsy. Betsy wins a $100 bill. Congratulations, Betsy. And keep on working on those merit badges. One more round of applause for Betsy.
Okay. All right, if we can close concession stands now for the final portion of our show. We're going to finish with the concert band. And can I have your attention, please? Thank you. I just need to lay it out to parents now. I know you're going to want to take your kids out of here when we're done, but we have breaking down to do. So we will get them out as fast as possible, but when band is over, I'll give you what I just gave them so that we're all on the same page. When band is over, the people that made those will break them down. We have to move everything off because we do have the GCC constituency in here, and we have to set up another 600 chairs. So as a music department, that's what we're going to be doing. So if you're itching to take your beautiful child with you, you can. When we're done, we'll work quick, okay? I promise. But we will start in just a moment, and then at the end, when we finish, we'll let them come out, we'll let them take pictures, hang out for a few minutes, we'll try to sell the rest of our food, and then we'll go through the breakdown process. So we'll start in just a couple minutes. If those of you guys that are in the back, if you want to find your seats, that would be great. That's exciting. Woo! The 12-minute epic piece. That's exciting. You guys did so good. All right, so the next section, oh, my blood's running. That was good. They were on target right there. Aiden, where's Aiden? Come on up. So I mentioned Aiden has been orchestrating and writing. He's also been conducting. He started, well, I was gone for something. Was it COVID? COVID. Yeah, remember COVID? I was gone for that. And Aiden stepped in and started conducting, and he has just, I sit on the side now. I've become the old man. He's like, just sit there. I've got him. You'll be fine. So, no, he's done a fantastic job. He started this piece, and he's run it. I don't think I've done really anything with it. I mean, I've just helped him a little bit, and he's gone through it. And I'm excited to go sit down. Is there a seat for me somewhere out there? Can I sit right there? I'm going to go sit down, and I'm going to watch what happens. No pressure at all. I wasn't joking, I can go. I could just sit out there from now on, figure out a way to pay me to not teach. That would be just one more year. We joke about Aiden just getting certified, coming in and teaching, and then I can just sit in my office. That would be perfect. I'll negotiate that with the new principal. Okay. If you have had a solo in tonight's show, stand up, please. Stand up. All the soloists for the evening so far, stand up. Yes. Yes. And they killed them. They got them all. They got them all. That's good. Also, if you are an adult playing in the band with us tonight, stand up just for a second. Just for a second. Just that. Second. Thank you. You guys can sit back down if you want to. One of the cool things about having adults play in the band, and if you ask Wes, I know a lot of us know Mr. Bradford, the beauty is like the mentorship that comes from adults to students. And I am blessed to have a round-robin table of adults that are part of that. Jim has been a part of that consistently now for a long time. And, you know, I thank him every time, and I am going to thank you again because I just can't stop thanking you for showing up, because he shows up and he works with my students. He does sectionals with them, yes. He teaches some of them, and it's all volunteer. And then I've been blessed to have some of the other adults coming in and playing with us. And we do have Dennis Starkey back. I know we said he moved. I know you thought that. You thought he moved, and I tried to keep it a secret that he was coming back to the boys. But at some point, I think I spilled the beans. I don't remember when it was, but I know I did tell them at some point. Now to the good awards. Oh, wait, no. I'm not done thanking people. Shauna Wood and Jeff in the back. Maybe you're sitting. I hope you're sitting somewhere enjoying this. And for all of the parents who are involved in that portion of it. And I say thank you to you guys for every part of the program that you guys support. But that's a lot of work, and you're usually back there while your kids are up here, and it's this, you know, kind of, it pulls at you. And so I'm so grateful for Shauna and Jeff heading it up, and for all of you guys that have been a part of it and that are helping with it. You know, we all thrive on fundraising to help support our kids. And I've said this before too, like we are, as a village, are raising these kids, and you guys do so much more than you really are ever asked to. You guys are always so awesome. And so thank you for all of you that have helped out with the food sales. Randy, thank you, Randy, and his crew for running sounds and AV. And thank you to Kaylee Couch and Lexi for all of their help with all of this. None of this would happen without this big group of people that's going on. So I just wanted to say thank you and make sure I always forget. I try to make sure I thank. There's no way to thank everyone. I really need to thank my wife and my kids for letting me do this. Yeah. Because boarding school is not 9 to 5. It's 9 to 9 to 9 to 9. So, yeah. All right. So we do have some awards to give out, though. Let's talk about band trip. Band. Is it only 2 awards for this? Do I only have 2 awards for this? I think so, 2. Band trip. I have a student here who is extremely talented. Very, very talented. He's a talented saxophone player. He's a talented engineer in the studio. And if you know Ricky, then you know that he kind of pops up like Waldo in places. But he's never really sure where he's supposed to be and when he's supposed to be there. And that was kind of the story of our trip. Ricky would show up and be like, hey, am I supposed to be here now? No, Ricky. Oh, okay. And then we'd be on the bus going, where's Ricky? Taking a nap in his room. I think it's the headphones in this generation. I think they all have them in. But I'm glad you made it tonight. And you're in the right place at the right time. And so he's getting the In the Right Place at the Right Time award for being here today. The next award is not, I'm not really making, you know, I like to joke with the kids and they joke with me. This is the thank you award, because every year I have to convince someone. percussion players are just unique. They're kind of like trombone players in a way, right? They're just a unique brand of people. And if you don't have someone trying to focus your percussion section, then it's kind of like cats running around. It's really a good analogy, because a lot of the time, prior to this person moving back there, it'd be like, okay, percussion, we ready? No. Where's this mallet? What song we? I mean, that's kind of how it would go. Year after year after year. It's just percussionists in general. So I usually have to bribe someone to go back there and do it. And so this is just a way of saying thank you to Kiara Diaz, who left flute. She left the flute section begrudgingly to go back and try to help keep them organized. And I think she came to me the other week and she's like, I'd like to go back to flute next year. And so someone else is going back there. They're like, no. No. They are, honestly though, they're a great percussion section. I don't know if you've watched them, but they all, yeah, I mean, I joke with them a lot, but multiple kids are on the trap set. They're moving around. You saw different kids over here. I mean, it's not that they just have, I just play the triangle. They all are learning a whole bunch of stuff, and that's hard to do. And so I am really proud of them, but it's fun when I'm waiting 30 minutes for them to find the triangle to then joke with them later. The National Band Award is called the John Philip Sousa Award, and this is an award, same thing. It's given out to basically, it incorporates someone who has been committed, someone who is talented, someone who is dedicated to their craft, someone who uniquely stands out in the band. And it's given out each year. It's special to me because I won it when I was, we had a small band, but I won it when I was in band. And so I've always been really partial to this award because of that. And this year, the person that won it with a landslide. I bet the band could probably guess, but I won't let you in case you guess wrong, in case you were the two people that didn't vote for this. No, I'm kidding. But she won it hands down, and I am hoping she goes on to play in college. She's working on putting an audition together to go on and play in college, and this goes to Shira Frost. It is so rare that you get a bassoon player in band, and to have a bassoon player that is so good, I'm gonna miss her next year, anchoring that down there. You hear her, you may not know that you hear her, but if you listen, you can hear that bassoon part rolling through there. So once again, I wanna thank you guys. This is our final number. It'll be about 13 to 15 minutes, so sit back. And that's not a joke, it's real. And then we'll close the curtains. We'll let your kids come out, take pictures. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful evening. And, yep, that's their cue. And then we'll open up sales, and we appreciate all that you guys do. Okay. We are going half off on food sales. Half off on food sales if you want to get some snacks for the road. Half off on food sales.